Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels a little early today. I got a whole boatload of stuff I got to do this evening that has required me to go a little early, but I know lots of you will watch it on replay and or listen to the podcast later, and I appreciate you catching up later. And those of you who are here live, thanks for joining me on a Friday where we head into a bye week where the Packers do not play. And I'm sorry, man. I know the Packers are not playing well, but I hate it. I hate the bye week. I hate not being able to watch the Packers in football season. Like, all this football is going to be played on Sunday, and I'm just going to be sitting there. And it's not like the last couple of weeks where, we've got the Thursday game to lick our wounds or got the Monday night game to look forward to. It's just nothing. It's like the vast emptiness of space. No Packers football. I hate it. I hate it. I know I saw someone in the comments saying, well, they're playing this poorly. I'd rather not watch them. Man, I just want to watch Packers football. I wait all off season for Packers football. The longest off season in professional sports, mind you. And then you get to the season and they're, ups and downs and pushes and pulls, and you're like, oh, man, all this hope Jordan Love can bounce back, and who knows if Aaron Jones comes back and defense keeps, and then just there's no football. No Packers football. I hate it. I hate it so much, but I understand why it's necessary. I get why the bye week is a thing, and I will swallow hard and watch all 30 whatever other teams play. Actually, it's 20-something because there are other teams on bye weeks. I'll watch them play on Sunday and grit through it. I think, combining or compounding the problem is that it's the international break for Premier League, so I can't even watch, like, Chelsea. It's just nothingness. I hate it. I hate it. But what I don't hate is our friends over at Firecracker Farm. That's right. You want to, people. Spice up your game with Firecracker Farm's amazing hot salt. Everything is better with hot salt. What is it? It's sea salt infused with ghost, reaper, and scorpion pepper. It's great for grilling, dips, in cocktails, you name it. Who makes it? It's a family brand made by hand in small batches, not in a factory. The guy that makes it is cool and a friend of Cheesehead TV. He, his wife, his kids, they grow the peppers on their farm and make the hot salt right there. And right now, Firecracker Farm is offering a 20% discount for Cheesehead TV viewers and listeners. So go ahead, go to firecracker.farm now, place your order, and get ready to spice up your game. Don't forget to use CHTV at checkout for 20% off. That's firecracker.farm, promo code CHTV for 20% off. Do it, people. Get yourself some hot salt for the back half of this Packers season, which is undoubtedly going to be hot. I just made that up. I don't know. But it felt like a good sequitur. Not a non sequitur, but a sequitur. Hello, everybody in the comments section. Hope you're all doing well. So good to see everybody. Tony, yes, a bit early today, but Tony, here's the real question. Will Bakhtiari ever be the same? Inquiring minds want to know. Most hated Minnesotan. What's up, man? How you doing? Bill, excellent question. Why isn't Yash playing? I have to think he has entered a doghouse of which there is no escape. Seriously, I don't know why. There's no way you can look at what Rasheed Walker has done the last 3-4 weeks and gone, oh, yeah, there's no way Yash isn't better than that. Like, we've seen him do it at a high level consistently. In a way, Walker hasn't. And I understand they think Walker can develop into something, but man, they're getting pushed around up front, they're getting whipped at the point of attack, getting beat in pass pro with some regularity. And not just by Max Crosby, because he beats everybody. I'm just talking on the regular. No matter who Walker is facing, there are some real inconsistencies. He's like the Josh Myers of left tackles. I have to tell you how inconsistent that is. So, yeah, why isn't Yash playing? I have no idea. Other than they have decided they are going to live with Walker as he develops and grows and makes mistakes and hopefully learns from them and becomes better and better as the year goes on. And there's a lot of that this year. We've seen that at the wide receiver group, no question about it. And I think that's probably the thinking at left tackle. I suspect it's like a case where Yash will only play if someone gets hurt. Mario, thanks for the super chat. What do Jordan and the offensive play calling need to do to bounce back? Well, obviously you can talk all about like the game plan, the offensive approach versus certain defenses and schemes, and all of that is true. But for me, it's all about staying ahead of the sticks and not getting yourself in get back on track situations. And that's not telling Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers anything they don't know. But man, you go back and you watch some of these games, and it's like there's so many instances where they are their own worst enemy, whether it is a lack of execution or a terrible play call. They keep getting themselves in bad situations. They are not good enough to climb out from, underneath those kind of that rubble, those holes. They're too young, they're too inexperienced, and they have got to maybe simplify things a little bit and just execute and stay ahead of the sticks. I don't care if it's a simple draw play or a lead ISO or whatever. Just, man, you got to stay ahead. Because right now, if it's 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8, they are in serious trouble. So, yeah, to me, that's the number one priority coming out of the backside of this bye week. Carl says 12 games remain. Let's get this stuff figured out. There's plenty of time. There is. Absolutely plenty of time. No question about it. Lyle Collins is out there. Got to be better than what we have now. Probably in the short term, but they're not thinking short term. They're thinking long term. Big free agent signings. Maybe, I don't know if you would call that big, but free agent signings or trades, that is just not the way they're going to operate this season. They want to let these guys play. They want to let them develop, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to be frustrating at times. As fans, we saw it Monday night. But their thinking is all of the kind of slings and arrows that they're going to take this year is going to pay off in spades, not only down the line this season, but hopefully going into next year. And again, I understand why that is frustrating from a fan standpoint, especially when you see an offense that can't get out of its own way. But cross fingers. The hope is that will all pay off in the long term. And look, this kind of thing just doesn't happen with regularity. It's very kind of singular to the Green Bay Packers, and even they have never really done this kind of thing before, where they have completely overhauled and reset on one side of the ball in such a dramatic fashion, and clearly been so, like, we are thinking long-term window-wise. Like, it's a year-to-year league in 31 other cities. Or 30 other cities. And in Green Bay, it is very much, I'm not saying like they're thinking in 10 years, but they're definitely thinking in 2 or 3. There's no question about that. And then you got to remember, they're taking their medicine this year. Not just for trying to keep the band together and trying to, make one last push for a Super Bowl while Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, which is certainly true. But also, they're just dealing with Aaron Rodgers' contract for one more year. Don't forget, their whole team is saddled with a $40 million plus cap hit. That's still a reality, and that precludes them from did preclude them from doing much more than they did this offseason. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors here, but like these signings, or I see people keep talking about trying to trade for wide receivers. I did a video about it yesterday, or trading for Budda Baker. Like, there is no world where that makes sense for this team and their approach. I mean, I get it. I get why people are, throwing it out there and excited about the possibilities, but it's just not the way they're operating this season. Let the kids play, nothing but puppies. Tony, you're not far off right there. Was on my way to La Crosse to pick up some Carry the G, and the Bears still suck. Warrior Beginger, that's an outstanding chat right there. I love it. I absolutely love it. And yes, actually, I got an email today from the distributor. I can let you guys know where it is out west. I know I told you guys it was out in Hudson. We've got it in Hudson. It's in Danbury. It's in Luck. It's in New Richmond. Escolia, I've never even heard of that place. River Falls, Somerset, and St. Croix Falls, and Webster. And as I said before, it's in Spooner too. So, if you're out west there in the northwest part of Wisconsin, Carry the G is amongst you. Make sure you go get some. And speaking of, here's a word from our sponsor.
You may not play for your favorite team, but you act like it. Through every snap and every score. Whether you're at work or in the grocery store, you're carrying them with you. No, not with a jersey, but with a mindset, so that you're always ready. Ready so that not just on game day, but on any day, you can crack open that ice cold beer. A beer made by fans for fans. Cheesehead TV and Gathering Place Brewing bring you Carry the G. A delicious and easy drinking cream ale, not just for tailgating, but for everyday life. Now available throughout Wisconsin, so that wherever you go, you can carry the G.
Such a good ad. So well done by Tyler. Carl saying, man, our former QB was making bank for those McAfee appearances. I wonder if he was considered a member of McAfee's staff. No, those are appearance fees. And look, it was fascinating to me to watch this kind of play out yesterday when the Post reported this. Of course he's getting paid, people. Promotion and motion. Like, I don't know if people realize this, but when we here at Cheesehead TV did our show with A.J. Dillon, A.J. wasn't doing that out of the kindness of his heart. We paid him. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't show friends. It's show business. And as McAfee himself said on his program yesterday, Aaron Rodgers and those appearances absolutely kickstarted them into another stratosphere that never would have happened without Rodgers. So, yeah, he's getting paid. Athletes First is not letting him, which is his, representation. They're not letting him just hang out on Zoom for free every week. The man's time is valuable, and time is money. Yeah, it's just funny. And I'm not saying that this is what you were saying, Carl. It's just some people were like, I thought he was just hanging with his buddy Pat. I'm like, come on, people. No chance. Most hated Minnesotan, you should make that trip today. Absolutely. Eric, is Aaron Jones going to play next game? Oh my God, I hope so. But I don't think there's any sure thing here. I mean, God willing, get that extra week of rest. We know he was hoping to go on Monday night and then got shut down on Saturday. I'm just hoping there wasn't a serious setback, like at practice while they were running around. Man, I hope so. But I don't know for sure. But God, they need him out there. I mean, it is night and day when he's on the field for this offense. Just got back from Vegas. 7 of 10 were Packer fans. Sure sucks we couldn't get the W. Go Pack Go. Dan, that sounds like our trip to London. At the Hotspur Stadium, it was almost all Packers fans. There were like pockets, smaller pockets of Giants fans, but the whole place was just filled with Packers fans. And the Packers shit the bed. Just the worst, man. How do I see the secondary lining up once Stokes returns? I think it's going to be a while before he's a regular part of the rotation. I think they'll put him in there in dime situations, probably kick Jair inside in those instances, depending on what the opponent is doing with their number one, more often than not. But, yeah, I don't think they just throw him out there right away. I think he'll play some. I think you'll probably see Rasul get a rest from time to time when he plays the perimeter, when Stokes is on the perimeter, maybe against a speedier wide receiver. But I think that's down the line. I think, initially, right out of the gate, just big-time sub-packages is how I see it. And then they'll mix and match depending on who the opponent is and what their wide receiving group looks like and how many guys they're throwing out there. But, if they go out there, the opponent goes out there with, 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, I don't think Stokes sees the field. I think it's Jair and it's Rasul and it's your base package and away they go. That's just the gig, right? They're not going to force Stokes out there. Packers need to play in Germany. Rick, oh my God, I was really, really hoping they would double up on international appearances for the Packers, but this year and have them in Germany, but no luck. But yes, man, can you imagine a Green Bay Packers game during Oktoberfest in Berlin or Munich? Oh my gosh, I'm living for that. Cannot wait. Will playing at altitude affect any of the players? Jared, it could. It has in the past. No doubt about it. That's one of the things that the training staff and the coaching staff will be kind of working on trying to mitigate as much as they can throughout the week to get guys prepared, trying to up their endurance, so to speak. But there's only so much you can really do. And we've seen it affect people before. We've seen it affect guys, not just with the Packers, but NFL teams in general. So here's hoping, definitely. Big Talker, I caught you live. What's up, Fred? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Nothing wrong with an early Packers daily. Like I said, I got stuff to do tonight. I got a million things. Right after I get done with the radio hit with 97.3 the game, I got to be out the door. So had to go early today, and I thank you guys for joining me. Most hated. No Packers this week. Baseball is over, but thank God hockey is upon us now. Man, I don't pay attention to hockey until the playoffs. The playoffs are exciting. I love playoff hockey, but until then, it's just like I have no idea it's on. No clue. Pinch me. Is Carlson really this good? Frank. First rule of Carlson being good is you don't talk about Carlson being good. Let's not jinx it. But yeah, seemingly he's fucking hitting the ball really well, right? It's so funny how like everyone was so concerned about him this summer, and now he's like the one thing on the team that's like consistent. Like, of course, we should have all seen this coming. I love it so much. Mm. What position group will benefit most from the week of rest? Well, the rest part of it, probably the offensive line. But as far as like trying to get on the same page, probably the wide receiver group. Man, that is a group that is all over the map. They need to play a lot more consistently and a lot crisper. In and out of breaks, whatever they're doing as far as spatial kind of relationship wise in their route running concepts, like there's a lot of drift and there's a lot of like questionable route running as far as okay, I'm supposed to be doing something because it's the design of the play to draw this, say, middle backer or the safety over, blah, blah, blah. But if you run your route in a lazy fashion or around the wrong marker, all of a sudden you've got guys in areas and the quarterback is looking at a total mess. That has happened way too much through these first 6 weeks. And that is something they have got to fix. These guys have got to be more technician. They got to be technician-like when they run these routes. And whatever their adjustments are, they got to get on the same page. Because right now it's a mess. No question about it. What else we got here? Tommy, that's funny. John, thanks for the super chat. Your story about asking Matt LaFleur a question drunk will live in infamy. Who has surprised you, good or bad, so far this season? Go Pack Go. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, the question. That was, I probably shouldn't have told that story, but it is true. And it was kind of funny. And Matt thought it was funny, so it's fine. But, yeah, what has surprised me, or who has surprised me, good or bad, so far this season? Well, Carlson, number one, out of the gate. That's pretty easy. You know, it's not that I didn't think, of course he hasn't arrived. He hasn't played a lot, and he did start kind of on the shelf, so to speak, for a good part of the first part of the season. But, man, Christian Watson has not attacked it the way I thought he would. Man, and just not meaning everything, not just the football, although he could do with doing that a bit better as well. But, man, there just need more from him. He's got all the upside in the world. He is a phenomenal, exponentially talented player. He's got to start putting it together. They need him. They need him to be better. Bryson, thanks for the super chat. My brother, I don't want to be an alarmist, but if they come out and put 10 points out on that terrible Denver defense, whoa. Oh, Bryson, you are not joking. Although, hey, the Chiefs just put up, 19? It's not like they went hog wild. But yeah, and that was at home for the Chiefs, by the way. But yes, if they score 10 points against the Broncos, something is seriously wrong. And it might not get better this season. At least not significantly. And that's no shade. That's just like, what are you doing? What is your approach? What are you asking these guys to do? Yeah, it's dubious. Which Packers team are you most disappointed in never having won a title? The one that Sam Gatto was on. That gentleman deserves a ring. No, I don't know. 2014 hurt the most. That's pretty easy. It's weird, too, because I saw them lose the Super Bowl, and I didn't think anything would ever hurt more than that, and 2014 did. It's crazy. Has Sims passed Kraft on the depth chart? Interesting question, Rick. Did get to see a little bit of the waiver claim there late in the summer off of Minnesota, cut by Minnesota, got it picked up off waivers. Um, Sims, you know he's a really good special teams player. They finally started getting him involved from scrimmage. Potentially, I think we saw more of him because of whatever doghouse Musgrave got in there early in the game, where I would think it sure looks like watching JT O'Sullivan's breakdown of Jordan Love's game sure looked like one of those early plays. Like Musgrave is probably running the wrong route and or making the wrong adjustment, but you do see on the broadcast copy after that drive is over, LaFleur gets after him pretty significantly. And I think after that, we didn't see a lot of Musgrave for like 2 quarters, and I think that afforded Sims more time, more so than passing anybody on the depth chart. But who knows? We'll see. Back end of this bye week, maybe they come out and maybe they do a lot more two tight end stuff, and maybe he's involved. We'll see. But I tend to think that was more of the reason than like any depth chart movement. Adam, thanks for the super chat, man. Happy Friday, Nags. When are you at Lambeau next? I will be in town for the Chiefs game. We have our annual Carry the G Club and Patreon meetup that weekend. The information is on the Patreon meetup page, the Patreon page. You can just search meetup. It's also here on YouTube on the community page. If you are a Carry the G Club member, you'll be able to see it. But yes, that weekend I will be in town. Probably come in that Friday, stay through the game, leave sometime that following week. So a good little stretch there right after Thanksgiving. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Been too long. I was talking to my dad the other night about it. I miss Appleton. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, everybody, I got to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out and talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Pack Go.